You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrilling, chilling, and sometimes spilling edition
You're
of the
listening
Basilio.
to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Welcome to my nightmare. Welcome to your nightmare. Welcome to our nightmare. God, what an awful sports weekend. Congratulations to my boy Jerry Colquitt and Hawk Nation and the 12 out there everywhere, the 12. And they really, I'll tell you one thing about that Great Northwest up there. They really do, crowd-wise, know how to get the party started. I mean, that is a great home crowd they play in front of. And the Seattle Seahawks, who came into existence when I was a kid with the likes of Steve Largent and Jim Zorn, they were a lot of fun back in the day. But they're your Super Bowl champion. And last night's game reminded me of two teams that came from like almost two different leagues and were playing each other. That's what you would think a game would look like. I mean, they thoroughly outclassed that team they were playing last night. It was like it wasn't even a contest. I saw a meme today where they said Bad Bunny was the leading yards gainer in the deal. Seattle just said, you know what? We know we're better. We don't have to put anything on this Darnold guy. We're just going to do what we're going to do, and we're going to win a championship. We're going to put everybody to sleep doing it. But we're going to go out, we're going to win us a championship, which is more than I could say for this Tennessee basketball team. Bino, how you doing?
Tony, I'm all right today.
You know, Bino, I was in here playing defense the other night because the Kentucky morons, whose schedule I will look at here in a second. Bino, I sent you the screenshot of how many phone calls I got. Will you share with the living listener whether or not that was a bit the other night when I said that those idiots were calling my phone ad nauseum? Share with the living listener, Bino.
No, Tony, no, it is. It was full of Kentucky area codes that were bombarding you with calls.
I sent to my son Anthony, and he said, "Dad, those are a bunch of really bored people." I said, "You know, when you put it that way, those are a bunch of bored people." Wonder why they're so worried about what I'm saying about their basketball team, Bino. I guess that's a compliment to me, I guess.
Yeah, it's a compliment to you, Tony, and their consumption with Kentucky basketball.
And their mid team, because surely they know they're mid, right? Those people are wise enough, smart enough, have enough, whatever it is, to know that they're mid, right?
I think they may be celebrating what victories they're going to get, Tony.
That's a good thought on your part. Yeah, that's right. And again, what's wrong with that? And I listen, post game the other night, and this is true. I'm sitting here minding my own business. Of course, Matt Jones sicks those people on me, and we're the show of record, and this, that, and the other. And all of a sudden, you know, they're all in the YouTube chat, and they're kind of funny, you know. A guy told me, maybe I'll share it with you in the third hour. He said, but when you say bruh, did you like the text, Bino, what the guy said about me? What it sounds like? I showed that.
I must have missed that one, Tony.
I gotta send it to you. I sent that to Laura. She laughed so loud. And some of I was getting like texts from these people on my phone, getting blown up. And then probably 50 calls on my personal cell phone. Now, I will say this for the Kentucky fans, the idiots that were calling. They were in pretty good spirit because a couple times Laura picked up and they said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to call the call-in number." They were they wouldn't dunk on her. But the couple times I picked up on the air, one guy said something to me that I haven't heard since I was like 16, 17. I was like, wow, people still say that to each other, huh? Okay. Very creative, very funny. I tell you, Matt said this down through the years. I love how their fan base and our fan base, I love how we hate each other because we're basically the same people.
Yeah.
You ever thought about that, Bino?
No, it's true, Tony.
They
it's
call
true.
us rednecks. We call them rednecks. And they say we have crazy fans. We say they have crazy fans. And we are basically two sides of the same coin, which I love. I told her last night, I said, these people are kind of funny. I almost appreciated the hazing they were giving me because they know their team sucks. They know they're one guy's like, well, he calls mid. I'm like, dude, you haven't been to the Elite Eight since COVID. You guys are the mid cats. You need to play in Middlesboro. You need to embrace it. Is there a Middle Kentucky University? Because you need to go play there. You need to go play a home game there. You're the mid cats. You can call us the mid cats. I can call you the mid cats. You're mid. Your team this year is mid. You look at the rest of their schedule. They're going to lose a bunch of games here after this one. They're the mid cats. But you know what they are? We have a head coach, Bino, and this is why the guy doesn't get over the hump in March. I hate to say this, but we were talking about the other night. He just can't help his team during games. It's just not Rick Barnes' forte. Great program guy. Great floor. The ceiling will always be a little limited with him because he just doesn't help his teams during games. And I said it right into my microphone. I'm going to say it again. They will not run a play for Gillespie or the other guy and just run plays. Run set plays for him. So you come out and you double team Ement, you take them away, and that was the ball game. Everybody else just stood around and watched. That was a awful. You talk about a terrible loss Saturday night. Once again on Friday, I said right into this microphone that I expect to win that game. And you know what? I expect to win that game because Tennessee's got a better basketball team than them. And twice now, our coach has sat over there and let the other coach outcoach him. And don't get me wrong, our coach is a Hall of Fame basketball coach, but coaching during the game itself is just not his strength. And I know that's going to rankle some feathers in the cult of Barnes, and I get how that sounds. And I'm not ripping the guy. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. Like, I'm not a facts and figures guy and statistics and all that. I'm just not. I don't retain. He's not a feel the moment guy. Those of you who play music, he's not a pocket creator. He doesn't have the feel for it. He just doesn't. Wins a lot of games. Knows how to recruit players. Is a great relationship guy. Is a good teacher of the sport. Is a solid guy for getting you ready for the game. But when it comes to that extra something, does a great job of working officials. Got a home whistle the other night in Rupp Arena for the most part. But when it comes to just that little thing of the game, that sliver of the game of feeling it, he's just not your guy. Just not your guy. And that's okay. He's a great coach. But he's just not, put this way, he's light years from what the Lady Vols are going through right now. They would kill to have a Rick Barnes. Okay? Because what they have, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what this is Danny White hired. I don't even know what you'd call that. And I'm in no mood today because I sat through both games yesterday. I sat through yesterday's game. I sat through our game. I sat through a 2-hour and 20-minute Garza Law Tennessee basketball overtime the other night, and I'm not in the mood for it. And poor Rick Barnes, Bino, he just doesn't. Bino, when they had an inbounds play and they inbounded the ball to Estrella, What was Bino Jeff Henderson doing?
Tony, I didn't react to that quite the way that you did. I figure they're fouling whoever we inbound the ball to, so it really doesn't make any difference. Whoever got the ball I thought they fouled too early and actually gave us a chance to win the basketball game by doing so. And I also look at Barnes a little differently than you do too. I think Barnes is a better strategic coach than you do. I think Barnes' downfall is his teams are never offensively fortified the way you have to be to consistently go deep in the NCAA basketball. We're always one score short. And so what do you do when you get to that point? You got two guys.
You got two guys.
What do you do? That's where I think his downfall is. I think he's probably as good strategically as most, or as the vast majority. I just think that his teams generally, what keeps the ceiling low is that it's all defense and rebounding, and not there's not enough offensive firepower to his teams.
I think we're saying the same thing, though, because if you have those two guys, most teams, that'd be enough to win and to go far in March. If you had two great offensive players like that, but his care of the offensive end, Bino, is so, well, you just care so little about it that they don't run anything set. They don't call anybody's numbers. I mean, call some numbers, man. And then the other night, they kept taking time out, Bino, and every play they ran was worse than the last one. Poor guy had a hideous night the other night. That poor guy had a hideous night the other night. No offense.
I can't look at the game and evaluate it that way, Tony. I just don't know enough about it to look at it and evaluate it that way. But again, I don't think it's the strategy. I think it's the piece offensively.
Brian Hartman, Penny, for your thoughts. You're my guy that I come to, you and Bino, for a Lady Vol conversation. I think Lady Vol Nation, the conversation needs to be had about this coach. I mean, we're in an era where, Brian, this lady looks like she's way out of her depth, man. And what she said to the media last night, after one of her losses, she said our team came late, which a head coach should never say that has control of their program, his or her program. You just don't say things like that. And then yesterday, she basically said our team's a bunch of losers and they quit. They're a bunch of quitters. I don't ever remember hearing a coach anywhere say something like that, which is why it was a high-profile game. It's been picked up by the ESPNs of the world and people like that. It's like all over the place. Kim Caldwell, my team quits. Kim Caldwell, my team's quitters. Nobody says that into a microphone. My team's quit, and I don't like my team. Basically, she's excusing herself while going in on her team. It kind of doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way in business. It doesn't work that way in life. It kind of doesn't work that way, Kim. I'm sorry. It sort of doesn't work that way.
Are they quitting on her? Is her message not getting clear, getting through to them? Are they possibly going to quit on her? Is that what we've seen? And guess who comes to town Thursday night? Or comes back to town? It might be the biggest game of the season for Coach Caldwell. If she loses to Missouri, coached by Kelly Jolly Harper, look out.
I just find when you tell me on one Sunday you got the largest defeat in the history of the illustrious Tennessee UConn series, which really is the series that got the potty. I mean, I'm pissed off today. I'm sorry. I'm saying things I shouldn't be saying on here. Watching our basketball team blow 2 games to that mid Kentucky team, I'm sorry. I'm actually not sorry. What in the world, man? These people are making big money to coach at these places. What are we doing, man? Like that was like Saturday night was like unforgivable. And then this lady on Sunday comes out and says, "Well, you know, I'm over here and I'm great. They're a bunch of quitters." Huh?
And
excuse me?
There's a lot of people who think that her program was prioritized over baseball, which led to Tony Vitello leaving.
See,
she's going to, even though that may not be true as much, she is going to really catch more heat just from that standpoint and that faction.
Here's my thing about the men's side and the women's side over the weekend. Coaching. These people make a lot of money. And they put their teams together. And they know what they're signing up for. And you can't stand up there. And we're not even at Valentine's Day. Bradley's Chocolate. Shout out to Bradley's. And Kim Caldwell, you know, she ain't going to be my Valentine anytime soon, which is fine. I have one. But she reminds me of Danny White. I can see what they saw in each other. Very peculiar behavior from a head coach. And her stuff on the sidelines even is peculiar. Bino, if you had kids on your roster that you said into a microphone, quit when the pressure gets on them, would you play those kids in a game, Bino? If you had somebody on your roster that you knew quit when the pressure got on, would you play them?
No.
Okay. Then what are we doing? I mean, that's coaching 101. You can't say into a microphone, well, you know, I mean, they just quit. They just, you know, well, it's just them. It's not me. I mean, look at me. I'm not, you know, I'm this and I'm beautiful and I'm my offense is great and I'm smart and I'm smarter than the room. And, you know, I mean, look at me. But look at them.
What was the punishment for being late?
And that's exactly right, Bri. When you say that into a microphone,
was there any discipline?
Listen, my name for her, and I don't mean anything by it, but I call her Queen Kimmy. And Danny White's a Queen of England. I call him the Queen of England. Not the king. He's a Queen of England. He's on his throne over there. You can't get to him. Can't talk to him. Nobody talks to him. I have so many people because I'm a maniac and I don't care and I never have, okay? Because I'm just going to tell you what I think and it is what it is and the good, the bad, and the ugly. Danny White walks by people in his athletic department and doesn't even say hi to them. You know why? Because he is the Queen of England. Kim Caldwell got up there yesterday and said, you know what? Not, I own this. Not, this is on me. Not, I'm not reaching my basketball team. Not, I'm doing a horrible job. Not, every game that we've played against somebody that can play, they're beating the absolute hell out of us like they mean it. Not, we were down 50 today in a league game. 50. Till we made a couple late 3 balls to make it like 45 at the end. None of that. No. It was, this team has a thing, and they just quit. They just quit. They're quitters. We have players that just, they get a little adversity and they quit. Question. Who has the third highest payroll in women's college basketball? Answer, you. Question. Who brought this collection of quitters to this program? Answer, you. Question. Who's responsible for this? Answer, you. You can't say that after a game about your basketball team with 6 weeks left in the season. You think they quit now? You wait till they have a little more adversity. Who's going to play for a coach like that? Bino, would you like to hear that about yourself after a game? When you just, because your coach likes to make line changes and has to be right, would you like to hear somebody say that about you, Beanstar?
I would not, Tony.
I don't know that I've ever heard of it. And Danny White, I'm telling you, Jeff Walls from Louisville was begging people, get me involved with the job. Tony, how do you know? I saw the texts. The guy's been to multiple Final Fours. Danny White was never going to do that. Because one thing we've learned about Danny White is it has got to be his idea. We've seen it. I mean, we've seen the guy change. The guy has changed traffic patterns at UT. I'd be surprised if he doesn't try to figure out a way to make the Tennessee River flow a different way one day. Gets up and commissions a study on that. That and loss on Saturday night. How do you play a game in the second half and Jacoby Gillespie scores a point, Bino? How do you do that?
I don't know, Tony. It'd help if he'd make a shot.
He nearly banked one in from half court that would have tied the game.
He really did, Bri. Kentucky Todd said, hey, Tony, your show is mid at best. Well, Kentucky Todd, you ought to know because Kentucky's in your name. And you're the home of the Mid-Cats. And let me know next time you guys make an Elite Eight. Final Fours aren't even the goal there now. Elite Eights are. And we beat your ass last year in the squared circle and made you like it. Brah. They told me, Bino, when I say brah, a certain thing, it sounds like I'm doing a certain thing. This thing is crazy, man. I know one thing about those women, Bino. When they get up on somebody else, the lady from South Carolina, she is a rough one now. You don't mess with her, okay? Dawn Staley. Those women, when they get up on each other, Bino, you think they're mercy subbing at the end of games or pouring it on? Which one?
There is no mercy.
Cassidy says the goal at Kentucky this year is a Sweet 16, and to mid Kentucky Todd. I want to say to you, I don't think you're going to get there for your goal this year. Bino, are you buying, selling, or trading that Kentucky team being alive for round 3 in the NCAA tournament?
Tony, I think I'm selling everyone in the SEC except Florida.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know how it's happened, but we have a league this year that's kind of like our league was in football this past season. Just kind of a tweener year in the league. I don't know how it's happened.
Yeah. I think beyond Florida, Arkansas and Vandy probably have the best chance to advance in the tournament. But, Vandy's issue, they're good, but they don't have a rim protector. And they're not going to get a whole lot of points in close.
No.
And if you can't in the NCAA tournament, you're going to have issues. So I think it's Florida and the rest in this league this year.
But I do want to wish the Cats well, and y'all do amuse me. I'm not kidding. Like all the calls I got, and it's just fun. I mean, it makes me laugh. It's fun. It's fun to be in the middle of this, and we have a fun time. This Tennessee basketball team is interesting because I still think they have there's a higher end there somewhere. The problem is that you have the really big problem, Bino, with that team is that two guard situation. That's just in the modern game, it's difficult to get that little offense out of your two guard and be successful in real basketball games in the modern age.
You know, I still think we could probably overcome it, Tony, if we got the scoring in the post that we should be getting, that we're not. We can talk all we want about that basketball game the other night, and all of them are valid points. The key to that basketball game Saturday night was the few opportunities that we had to score in the second half, for whatever reason, were point blank, and we didn't convert.
Yeah.
Time after time after time, we missed close in. And that would have been enough to stave them off. I thought we were too timid offensively, almost like we were running clock with every possession, and we would get toward the end of the shot clock and have nothing. Now, I give Kentucky a lot of credit because their defensive intensity, for whatever reason, and it's been maddening, for whatever reason, both games, Kentucky started the second half with a double-digit deficit. And what we saw was them come out with much greater defensive intensity, much higher energy level, much more confidence, and much better execution than we could muster, for whatever reason, in the second half. Both games, carbon copies. And they were getting anything they wanted, any look they wanted offensively. And the few that we got in the second half, we just didn't convert.
You know, Bino, they got so many looks that they missed a ton.
Yeah.
They missed a ton of open shots themselves down low.
Yeah.
Or they could have won by 10. I mean, they were getting that poor Carey guy against a team like them. Why do they have the two bigs in the game late in the game, Bino? When we take a couple possession lead there after that spurt from Ament, and it looked like we were going to stave them off and maybe hold them off. Why do we have two big people on the floor when neither of them can guard anybody? And we're asking this Carey guy to grab people 15, 20 feet from the basket, and he can't move his feet, Bino. I don't understand it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we do that, and then we get to the end of the game, and we got Amari Evans down there on the block. And they get offensive rebound, it wins the game. Yeah, there's a lot of things I don't understand. What I really have to try to do is not to overreact to losses to Kentucky, because every one of those feels like two losses to me. Yeah. Every one of them.
That's me.
And the two this year have been as maddening as any I can ever remember in my life.
Yes.
And I overreacted to the first one, and I promised myself I was not going to overreact to this one. And I'm doing my best not to. But they were both as maddening as they could be in the way that they were lost.
We have a South Carolina guy in our chat today, Bri. He says, as a South Carolina fan, I really wish the Lady Vols would get back to greatness. One thing you should know is that South Carolina had only 7 healthy players for the game. They had only 7 players dressed for that game. They had only 7 players dressed for the game, and they were up by 50 at one point late in the game. Bri, are you worried about this lady making it? Or is it too early to worry? Are you worried that she might be in over her head here? I mean, the way her team plays and the things she says, This ain't looking too good for the home team, Bry. Is it too early to wonder that, or because I
Well,
think a lot of Lady Vol people that
it just
are
doesn't
immersed in
appear
it.
like their ceiling is sort of where it was before she got hired. They have a Sweet 16 type ceiling. But last year they sort of gave everyone hope that they beat UConn at home. They
Yeah,
had some nice wins,
yeah.
and they got to the Sweet 16. They had to go win on the road, but there was some hope. But I want to come to Danny White's defense a little bit.
Yep.
He didn't want to make a change. It was the folks that they rely on for NIL that did not want to put much money behind Kelly. So he was kind of forced to make a change.
That's a good point.
And that should be pointed out.
That's a good point. Last thing NEA day when you're kind of new on the job, where he was a couple years, you just want all those coaches that you didn't hire just to keep on keeping on. You can keep cashing your $3 or $4 million check, whatever it is, with your rollover in perpetuity, and let the good times roll.
Only the last thing anybody wants to hear from me is status of the Lady Vol program. But I mean, how can you not be concerned when back to back you have the largest loss in the UConn series history and then the largest loss in program history back to back? I mean, that can't portend too well for your coach's longevity.
Again, it's a sport I follow. I don't watch it night in and night out. I know enough about it to know that the teams at the top are light years better than the other teams. I know enough about it to know that the Lady Vols have a top 5 payroll easily in the deal. A friend of mine didn't believe that and reached out to an SEC head coach that he knows, and the SEC head coach said, "Oh yeah, Tennessee is one of the big spenders. They got one of the largest payrolls." And they're absolutely, they got, at one point yesterday, who was doing the game for ESPN, Bry? Who was that doing the game? Do you know, the color commentator yesterday? Because at one point, the color commentator said, one team out here is playing hard, and the other team's hardly playing. Now, that kind of thing during a game when I'm watching my alma mater play a sport just shouldn't be said. And then our head coach stands up after the game and absolves herself of it. You know, these guys are, my team's just a bunch of quitters. Excuse me? At what point did you take a timeout and take the players that are quitting? And if I have to end the game with 3 walk-ons in the game, or I have to dress somebody that's over there in a support capacity, or I have to end the game 5-on-3 to make a point to my team, this is me now. This is me. That's what I do. I mean, you're almost to the point where that head coach where, well, you know, my team came late tonight. Excuse me? What is this, like Wade Houston basketball? What are we, back in the Jerry Green era where he came 15 minutes before a tip-off one night? And they got him some coffee? I mean, what are we doing? You can't say that into a microphone. And see, that's where I think, and again, I'm not going to get in the middle of it because it's not my style. That's where I think you show your inexperience. When you take somebody that has little experience and put them in a spot like that, a Lady Vol job's a big job in that sport. It's a big job, like Brian said. They're like the New York Yankees trying to get their footing back, or the St. Louis Cardinals in the National League. Then they're trying to get their footing back. Big fan base. People care about it. The only time we're going to talk about it here is if it turns like it's turned. How can you not talk about it? I don't think I've ever remember a coach anywhere in any sport here say, yeah, my team's just a bunch of quitters. And, well, look at me. I'm great. Excuse me? Squeeze me? Baking powder? What? Yeah, I mean, they were just a bunch of quitters. And then we have Barnes. We have Barnes over there Saturday night. Every inbounds play was worse than the last. And then he's got a guard on the floor after the game. And then after the game, he says, yeah, I should have had. Really? You should have? How many people do you have behind your bench helping you so we can get the right personnel at the end of a game? How many assistant coaches do we have? How many support people do we have? Mark in Dallas traveled from Dallas to go watch the game, for crying out loud. The rebound comes right to Evans, but he's too short, and it goes right over his arms. And then what about playing two big people late? I mean, I'm so mad at Barnes right now. And I'm like, Bino, I shouldn't be overreacting to that loss. But I have to wear those Kentucky losses because those people wear me out, Rick Barnes.
And one of them in Wayne Brown, who had 12 rebounds.
He wasn't in the game, Bri, late. That's what he said. We probably should have had Brown. Really? Should have had the guy that had 12 rebounds in? Really? That's interesting. Do tell. And see, here's the issue, and I'm not doing this. I'm not doing the class warfare thing, but this is the truth. You got a men's basketball coach making $8 million who's lost two leads. How much in their coaching staff over there? Total. What do you think they're spending? And you can't have Evans in the game. You have to have Evans in the game late after you've played with two big people when you shouldn't have been. And then when you should have had them, you didn't have them for rebounding purpose. Like, what are we doing? And then we have this women's coach yesterday who says to Barnes, hold my Cosmo. I got something for you. Check this out. I'm going to lose to a team with 7 players by, count it, 45 points. They were up 50 on me. I hit a couple 3 balls late. And then I'm going to say afterwards, hey, nothing to see here, man. I didn't do it. She was doing her Basilio imitation. I didn't do it. I have a bunch of quitters. I didn't do it. Kim, memo to you. You did do it. You are doing it. And unfortunately, I don't think you're done doing it yet. That's my news flash to you. Me, it's a week of love, and I'm pissed. I'm a soldier. Quoting, who was that, Bri? Who said that after the game?
Kellen Winslow Jr.
I'm going to do it for this. I'm pissed. I'm a soldier. So we continue with more after this.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. It's quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go. Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
Newsflash, Basilio listeners, the spring real estate market just moved up. Yes, it's chilly outside and you're still in your puffy coat, but if you need to sell your East Tennessee property, you could be the hottest house on the block. Hi there. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. February is the sweetheart month of real estate, and savvy sellers know exactly what that means. Get ahead of the game and give me a call at 865-694-5904 or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols!
Yeehaw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues. Every bet type you can imagine. Live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Achillio here, and my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. TB back with you, 865-200-5402. As I welcome you back. And that Super Bowl was really a bummer last night, guys. Wasn't that a bummer game? We've had a bunch of pretty good Super Bowls, but the last two have been just... Last year's game was sort of unwatchable, and this year's game was unwatchable.
The Super Bowl was Rams-Seahawks, not last night.
That's right, Brian. Really good point. Which is what a lot of people thought, but we don't want to believe that, or didn't want to believe that, or however you want to say that.
The Rams would have done the same thing last night.
Oh, yeah.
They might have even scored more points. They might have gotten in the 30s. Maybe 40.
Well, that's just it. I mean, that team last night had no... The other team had no chance. And so, why bother? You know? At the end of the day, why bother? So, Brian, what'd you think of Bad Bunny last night? And we'll go to the phones.
Since Easter is just a few weeks away, I'm kind of looking for Good Bunny.
Bino, did you watch it?
I did not, Tony, but I don't remember the last Super Bowl halftime show I watched. I didn't. Anybody I'd want to see is dead.
What are you, Martin Columbus now?
Green Day would have been a good banger for halftime.
I mean, nobody cares who I want at halftime, Tony.
Billy Joe Armstrong.
Most of the people that I would want to see,
Brian,
they're no longer living.
Brian, is Billy Joe Armstrong wearing a rug? Because he looked awesome up there. Was that like a hair weave? It looked like a hair club for men weave or something. And I've been seeing some memes.
But Green Day kicks. Green Day just kicks.
I've always loved. They're the real deal Holyfield. But there was a meme going around of John Bon Jovi and juxtaposing him with Maude. Have you guys noticed how a lot of these rockers now, as they age, are morphing into like women? Have you ever thought about that? Because that is true. And listen, some of the old dudes that I see walking in the park that have like the long ponytails, no offense to you, I love each and every one of you. I'm for you, not against you. And it's great that you're out there moving, and I'm for you, okay? But the real long ponytail thing, and y'all look like Granny Clampett. I mean, Bino, can I say that out loud? Do you have any of those guys on your softball deal, Bino, the Granny Clampett looking people?
We do not, Tony, but I've seen a few.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, Tony, I know what you're referencing.
Like folks your age, and they do the thing where they grow the long. It's almost like it's a deal where before you went into the work world, okay, which I kind of get this, okay, before you go into the work world when you're a kid and you're in college or whatever, you're at that age, you can like do what I did in school, which is wear like the long earring. And you know, I used to like have a one time the great Robert Smith from Maryville, he had one of those barber kits, and he had a chair, and we used to call his place the barber shop. And he would sit there and he would like shave mohawks in our head, or, you know, cut like designs in our head and that kind of thing. And I was just dating Laura at the time, and she said, you got your hair cut? And I said, yeah. What do you think? She said, do it again. I'm breaking up with you. And I was like, oh, well, I guess you don't like it. But these guys walk around now, you see them. And Bon Jovi's got this thing now, like with the big hair, and literally looks like Maud now. And I guess it makes sense with those guys because a lot of them are beautiful men. And so what you have is you have this 2 periods of life thing where you have your professional life where you got to keep your hair cut, you got to be Natalie attired and all that stuff. And then you retire and it's like, okay, I can grow my hair long again. Only one small problem. When you were young and you did it, you looked, I don't know, like you hadn't had a shower in weeks, but kind of cool. But you all smelled like, they used to make bubblegum cards, kiss cards back in the day. Tom Guffon will remember this from Guffon Moving and Storage. Those things had a certain smell to them. Certain sections in McKay's used books have that smell. I don't know. I'm free associating here. So just that you just have to smell that smell. I feel like I'm in the middle of a Skynyrd song here. But when you smell that smell, you know what I'm talking about. And you got around those people and you were like, wow, they have that smell. And it was like 4 days without a shower and they smoke. Okay, fine. So then you have your professional life, you do your thing. And now we're back to this. And now we're back to this. Lisa Coleman, 294. Tony is Uncle Fester. No, I'm not. I kind of fashion myself, Lisa, more as a, not an Uncle Fester. I'm a George the Animal Steel. I'm thinking about dyeing my tongue. Since I can't grow my hair long, Bino, I'm thinking about getting my hair, like making my tongue green and going with your George the Animal Steel look. Bino, we lost to a team Saturday night that had denim on. It was denim night. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, Tony, that's it's kind of like losing in a softball tournament to a bunch wearing jean shorts. I don't know.
Not good. Never
good when we lose Kentucky. Never, ever, ever. And in my mind, we've lost 8 straight regular season games to them because every one of them feels like 2.
I just came on here in the first segment in the A block today, Bino, and called Barnes not a good in-game coach. I'm so pissed off at him when I know he's very good in-game. But he wasn't very good the other night, and he's really urinated me off twice now. And he won't take timeouts. Hey, I give Bambi the other night a lot of credit. Ament was getting ready to go. The Vols were getting ready to go up 20 in that game. And he called the timeout when Ament was in the middle of that really huge long run, and he stopped the run. Our guy doesn't do that. I don't know what I saw a thing yesterday with Dawn Staley. I'm gonna shout her out and give her some love. First of all, she coached in a Seattle Seahawk jersey yesterday because one of her players, That's So Raven, is dating one of the star breakout rookies from South Carolina, the DB of the Seahawks. Boy, that defense is unbelievable, Andy. Unbelievable, Andy. You talk about a unit that flies around to the football. So she rocked the jersey yesterday. And then said afterwards, she said at halftime, she said, yeah, I love him. He's a Gamecock to the core. And she said, and that's Raven's man. She said, I'm for Raven. Bino, she played a zone defense yesterday. They never play zone. They played a zone defense yesterday and concentrated on rebounding the basketball. Why more college coaches don't play zone defense is beyond me. Beyond me. But Mark Pope the other night, he doesn't call that timeout. Ament was going to have 30 at halftime, Bino, because Ament was getting ready. You talk about when Michael Jordan, there was a VHS that went around in the 90s. He was talking about one of those playoff games where he went crazy, and he said the rim looked like a big bucket. It looked like a big bucket. And that's exactly, Ament had that look about him, Bean Star.
Yeah, he had two of the great back-to-back halves we've seen for most anyone here in the Ole Miss, second half Ole Miss and first half Kentucky. Now we need for Nate to have a game where he has two halves.
Alan just
He's
said
been
that
playing a half.
Alan said, I need a lollipop to suck on, Bino. I do have a Kojak thing going on right now. I'll tell you something about Telly Savalas. Kids, look it up. I used to watch him as a kid and go, God, look at that old bastard. I look at him now and I go, man, that dude's smooth. Who loves you, baby? Who loves you, baby? All right, let's go to the phones. 865-200-5402. I hated that sports weekend. And shout out Lindsey Vonn.
Wow.
You know? May we all have a spirit of Lindsey Vonn about us. All of us. You know what the
Is
spirit
that not scary how they had to airlift her that way?
Hey, Bri. May we all have the spirit of Lindsey Vonn, brah. Actually, in that sport, truth be told, that's how you get somebody, that's how you get a competitor that's been incapacitated. That's how you get them out of there. That's tried and true. That's part of the drama.
You can't land a helicopter conventionally, obviously, but
yeah, you have to airlift them. You have to airlift them. Here's a lady. I give her a lot of credit. She's early 40s. The sands are going through the hourglass. It's her true love and passion in her life is going down that mountain at 70 miles an hour. She's had umpteen surgeries. She is a daredevil and an OG from the word go. And her wreck yesterday was so bad that when you watch it on video, she gets lost in a cloud of snow. And I'll bet
it's unbelievable courage just to come down that hill, 70 miles an hour. I can't imagine doing it when you got a torn ACL.
And Bino, and a partial knee replacement.
Yeah.
I mean, she's insane is what she is. There's got to be a saying about people like her that look like Barbie but do something like, she didn't do something like Ken. She way tougher than Ken. I mean, here's the thing about her too, people like her, because you know these people in life, right? I bet if you'd have told her, hey, Lindsay, before you leave this gate, one thing I want you to know, this isn't going to end well for you. I bet she would have taken that ride anyway, Bino.
Oh, yeah.
People like her are not wired like people like you and me. They're just not. People like her, some of us would say, like a buddy of mine said, well, she had no business out there. She took a kid's spot. And when she got hurt, she shouldn't have done it. And yeah, I agree with that. That's probably true. People like her, though, are what take people like us to the moon one day. Now you look up in the moon, you go, like, cavemen, you and I walking on the earth 500 years ago, and we look up in the sky and we go, one day somebody's going to go up there, and you'd look at me and say, well, would you do it if I could shoot you up there? And I'd say, hell no. Imagine how crazy you'd have to be to get in a little canister and hurl through space, Bino. Be the first guy to do that. Imagine how nutty you would have to be to do that. That's the mind of Lindsey Vonn.
Yeah, I'm just not skilled enough, courageous enough, or consumed enough.
Consumed is a great word.
Great in anything.
Yep. Consumed is a great word. Because I'm telling you, if you would have said to her, hey, Lindsay, I know how this tape is going to play out, and it's going to play out with you being airlifted to the hospital. If I were you, I wouldn't get on that mountain. She would say, get away from me, Satan. I'm going down that mountain. So we'll go to the phones. 865-200-5402. It's been a light day on the phones. Let me get a quick station ID, and we'll get a couple calls in.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
And you're not hearing things. We're back on the radio. Shout out to everybody involved for making that happen. It's a beautiful day on Fan Run. As we're back with you, tomorrow the gang will be out live at Smoky Mountain Brewery, Turkey Creek. The great William Pattison will be there, followed by Dubsy and Carew. Get out and eat lunch and eat dinner and hang out with them. And the Vols actually don't have a game tomorrow. They actually are off till Wednesday. Rice fans. Be interesting to see.
Another 9 o'clock start for you guys, Tony.
No, it isn't.
Congratulations.
Are you kidding?
I believe it is. No, I believe it's
Yes,
9
it is a 9 o'clock start. It sure is.
I'll tell you what's fraudulent is this ESPN thing, guys. This listing a game at 8:30 that they know damn right well isn't starting at 8:30. That's totally fraudulent. Fraudulent of them. Acting like these games are played in 2-hour windows instead of moving the Duke game back to a 6 o'clock start and being honest with what you're doing. Now, wait a second, Brian. What time did the Duke game tip? It tipped at 6, doesn't it?
6:30.
It tipped at 6, about 6:36 actual time.
Here's a question for you. Why? When's the last time you saw a college basketball game last 2 hours? How many have we had this year that went under 2 hours? Which is just having no regard for everybody up at Lexington. That's why the other night people say, well, you stayed on 2 hours, 15 minutes the other night. Why? I said, I feel bad for our people that were coming home. I wanted to give them something to listen to on the way home. On our Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime. And by the way, I would have stayed on longer, but if I had stayed on longer, I was going to say some things that I regret. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
What do you think, Tony?
Philly, welcome in, buddy.
How you been on, Brian?
Been better,
What's
Phil.
up, Philadelphia?
Been better. Been worse. Been better.
My condolences to the Carver family. He was a real great guy.
Philly,
Yes,
he
he
thought the
was.
world of you, buddy. He thought the world of you.
Guys, I watched that Lady Vol game because there was nothing else to watch for the Super Bowl. I don't like that pre-game crap on the Super Bowl. That's about the worst 60 minutes of basketball I ever seen.
Phil, that pressing stuff against teams that can really play, I had reservations about it on the front end, but I can honestly tell you that is never going to work. Now, I don't know what this lady thinks she's going to do, But the hockey changes and then her kids don't play hard, Phil. Did you notice that? Everything was a layup. It looked like our game. It looked like the game the night before. Everything we gave up to Kentucky, Phil, was a layup. We're supposed to be so great defensively. Everything was a layup, Phil.
Yeah. I like the way the Lady Vols handled that 2-3 zone South Carolina threw out there in the second half.
That's exactly right.
Ring around the rosy and shoot a 30-footer. That's how they played that zone.
Why won't more men's teams, Phil, play zone defenses? I don't understand it.
I don't know. Barnes is stubborn to a fault. That's just the way he is. He does the same thing every game when he gets beat. I mean, you notice that?
What do you mean?
Well, he don't call timeouts for one thing. And why is Ament throwing the ball in? I don't get that one bit.
Bino covered for him earlier. Bino told me I was wrong about his in-game coaching acumen.
Tony, I didn't say that he doesn't make some in-game mistakes. I said every game is not about him.
This Nate Ament throwing the ball in, Phil.
I don't like that either.
You know what it looks like? When balls used to get hit at Steve Sachs, who was the pitcher, Bino, that would roll the ball over to first base? The inbounds pass he made to Estrella was almost intercepted because it was thrown to the side of him. He looked so uncomfortable throwing the ball in. So strange.
Well, Barnes did have a winning record against Kentucky now. I think he's 2 games below 500 against them. I think they've won 7 out of 8. Am I right or wrong on that?
Yes, they've won 7 of 8.
And really, Kentucky, this is probably the worst they've been in the whole time we played them. Their program is not an elite program right now.
Philly, they are mid. They need to play a game at Middlesboro. It's a shame there's not a Middle Kentucky University because they belong in Middlesboro. They're the Middlesboro Cats. They're the mid Cats, Phil.
Well, if Barnes wants to make one more run in him, Tony, he's going to have to go out and recruit a couple more shooters or somebody can handle the ball. I mean, who coaches the post players down there? They get worse every year.
Yeah, it's interesting. I tell you who's really regressed this year is this Akpara guy. He has had a rough season. Jeez Louise. And I know he's still beat up.
Ziegler could throw that lob to him, and Gillespie can't.
Yep. Yeah.
And like Bino said earlier, they're shooter short, and every year, I mean, that's the way Barnes is. I mean, I don't get it. And then you recruit these scrubs from overseas who can't play. I don't get it. Alabama goes out there and gets one from the NBA, though, and look what they're doing now.
He got to stay Friday. Did you guys see where he got to stay in court Friday? Did you guys see that? He's playing for the rest of the year, y'all. Unless I was seeing things.
Is he really? Wow.
Did you see that, or am I imagining things?
No, I think you're telling the truth. Alabama
just didn't make a ruling.
Yeah, he's free to move about the cabin after Greg Sankey sent a letter coming out against him. Greg Sankey literally is a eunuch, an SEC eunuch.
I've seen a lot of tension on these boards, Tony. I've seen Lady Vol fans ripping the Heupel, and then you see the Tennessee baseball fans ripping the Lady Vols.
Yep.
Is Danny White got a stable foundation over there, the way things are going?
Danny's done a really nice job of leadership. I think if I was a good leader, I would not communicate with people. I would live in secrecy. I would keep everything in a shroud. I would have coaches pointing fingers at each other. Yeah, he's done a really nice job.
I'll say this, though, Tony. If Aguilar's our quarterback next year and we have the same season, Hopper needs to find another job. See?
So we had our first Aguilar call of the day. Bino, see what we did there? We've introduced Aguilar into the conversation. By the way, so Alabama has the first ever bounce back player. Bino, will that be the last bounce back player in college basketball in your mind?
No, it absolutely will not, Tony. And I think this is likely the worst bag of worms that's been introduced.
Yep.
If this continues, you watch what happens in college baseball.
Yep. No question about that. 865-200-5785. 5402. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony and Zach, and John City here in E-Town. How you guys doing, Bino?
Hey, Zach,
what a
doing
weekend.
good.
Hey, guys. Tony, you made a nice musical reference earlier. You said that Barnes, he can't create a pocket.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think he can create a pocket for the beat, steady, but he cannot improvise. He is not. I mean, he's got his system and his ways, so he can lay the beat down. But when it comes time to rip a solo off, he kind of he fumbles around. These last two games against Kentucky, where he has been absolutely smoked by Pope.
Yes.
You know that old song, "The Pope Smokes Dope." Well, the Pope smoked.
I've never heard that. Who made the Pope smokes dope? I've never heard that.
A guy named David Peel, who was like a John Lennon associate.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, it was a big deal in the 70s.
Pope smokes dope. Okay.
Yeah, but Pope smokes Barnes, and these last two halves, I don't know what the scoring differential is. I guess it's something. I guess it would be greater than 31 or no? We had a 14. Let's say we blew leads of 17 and 14.
Blue leads of at halftime. We blew leads of 11 and 14.
Jeez.
Okay,
but two 14-point leads essentially because
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so mad the other night. I apologize because I was just mad after the game. It kept me up all night. It's one of the reasons I don't like these late night tips. It messes with my family routine. The two things that is yes, Ament inbounding the ball. I don't know if that's, and maybe you guys are better tacticians than I am. Is that supposed to be so that he's free, like he gets the ball in, and then that's kind of the theory behind it. Is the inbounder is free to shoot after they inbound the ball.
Yes,
I would assume that's part of it, and his height is part of it as well.
How many times have we seen him get the ball back, Bino, for an opportunity? Would be my question.
Not many.
Not any. I've never seen him get the ball back.
Yeah.
Basically, what you're doing is you're taking your best scorer at this point in time, and you're making him inbound the ball, so he takes himself out of the play.
It's just such a regression.
It's dumb. It's really dumb. They keep doing it, though.
Yeah, it really is dumb. I mean, to the point where even, kind of a knucklehead like me can say, hey,
that's
this
dumb.
is... And yes. I realize, we all realized that early on in the year.
Yes.
It's just the inability to make a change. And then on the other hand, you got the Lady Vols who are trying to make too much change.
Yes.
It's just a bad way to approach this. And it really
lady,
puts a stain.
Hey, Zach, that poor lady.
Yeah.
She's like, now you make a musical reference. She reminds me of somebody that kind of knows how to play a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But they play so fast and they've got to get everything in. And it's just like, it's awful. Like what they're doing.
Yeah, they don't have any time.
Yeah. They
can't keep time.
She has that style of play she has against teams that can really play.
Mm-hmm.
She has zero chance of beating people. I'll tell you something. What they did is they went to school on her in the offseason. You can see it, the halves.
Yeah.
Because everybody gets layups on them now. Everybody beats them down the court. Everybody gets easy shots, and everybody's figured their offense out now. The teams that can play. They just get swallowed in those games. They get swallowed.
And then the players, once the avalanche starts to fall, the players almost kind of I don't ever say they give up, but there's nothing they can do because they know it's coming.
That's what she said. She said they give up, and she basically said she said that my team's a bunch of quitters, and I would say to her, why don't you play a style of play that doesn't put them in that spot to quit?
Well, it was such a thing. Like last year, we had the win over. We had the win over UConn last year. It just, but like you said, it's kind of like somebody that it's like a rookie. It's like a rookie hitter that comes up and maybe, hits 380 or 400 their first couple months until pitchers start figuring them out. But this thing with Barnes and losing to Kentucky and in the fashion that we've lost, I wish I could. Kentucky is a mid-level team, but so are we. They just have some more history. I mean, they're living in the past, just as evidenced as those god-awful blue jean uniforms that they came out. And they should have just played in jorts the other night, Tony. If they're that bought into the bit, just play in jorts next time.
Put the Daisy Dukes on.
Oh, yeah.
And let it go, brah. Let it go.
That would be a great look for Pope instead of his blue jean suit.
Hey, thank you, my man. Good talk.
All right, guys.
Bino, did I send you that? I haven't sent you those texts yet, have I, Bino? I need to send them to you.
I hadn't seen anything yet, Tony.
This inbound in the ball beats everything, though. Matt, if you go back and you listen to what we did on a pre-roll, what we're doing these days, I don't know why we're doing it, but we started doing it, and it's kind of at the end of games, we'll watch the last 45 seconds together, and I'm just keeping it on the tape. We hit the tape, and Matt's in here, Bry's in here. The other night it was Matt, Bry, Al, myself, and we're responding to what's going on late, or we're just talking about how we're going to set the show up and what we're doing. But the other night, the game was the game, and it was very tight. It was very nerve-wracking and the whole deal. And they come out of that break, and Matt screams, he's got Ament inbounding the ball again. This Nate Ament guy is a great player. He's getting ready to explode. You can see it coming. Now, I predict that Saturday night, he's going to go for 35 plus against LSU. He's going to give them a whole big old box of chocolates, okay? I really believe that. I think he's going to have a huge night against LSU. Inbounding the ball is not his forte. He's not comfortable doing it. He doesn't like doing it. He ran the baseline one time when he couldn't. If you remember that turnover, he's turned the ball over multiple times doing it. He almost turned the ball over with Estrella the other night. He threw a bad inbounds pass that Estrella had to stretch and go get. Why are they doing that? I mean, they're stubborn and then they're stupid. Bino or Bry, can you guys give me one reason why they're continuing to inbound the ball with him?
I cannot, Tony.
Because he never gets it back. It isn't like they're running a two-man game and he inbounds it and he gets it back and, boy, he sticks a three. I'm put to you this way. Now, Bino, I don't know if you'll agree with this, but nobody's ever going to accuse Rick Barnes of being Bruce Pearl on inbounds plays.
No, I agree with that. 100%.
Pearl was one of the best in the deal at it. The inbounds plays. And Barnes' inbounds plays are throw the ball in. Or this year, not even throw the ball in. Maybe throw the ball in. With this poor Ament guy, who is a wonderful player, but I don't want to use that term that baseball people don't like you using, and golf people don't like hearing that term either. But that's what this guy has when it comes to inbounding the ball. And they're making him do it over and over again. Bradley's, ladies and gentlemen, in your Basilio show, it's just a Knoxville tradition. Now, look, Bradley's for forever and ever is Bradley's chocolate. Now they've grown. They've got 2 locations. They've got one North Peters Road, where they've been forever, and they've got another one on Biddle Farms Road, Boulevard, in beautiful Farragut, next to You're as Sweet as Tupelo Honey. And let me tell you something. Chocolate-covered strawberries are available on the 13th and 14th. That means Friday, Rice fans, and Saturday, Rice fans, right? And let me tell you something. They're hand-dipped. They're fresh. They're delicious. You will taste the difference. They are unbelievable. And the chocolate-covered popcorn there, Brian, tell them how good the chocolate-covered popcorn is. Brad told on himself to me today.
I've eaten 2 of the biggest bags they sell.
You can't, once you get that
biggest,
stuff.
The large bag, I've eaten 2 of them. And it doesn't take me most of a day to eat one of them either.
I FaceTime with my brother Steve last night. He's a special needs guy. He's 4 years older than me, and he lives in kind of a group home. And we had people over here. We were watching the game, and we baked cookies for him. And I wanted to show him on the FaceTime that we were baking cookies for him. He was all fired up, focused, and prepared. But during one of our conversations, I mentioned to Steve Bradley's chocolate-covered popcorn, and he won't quit talking about it now to me. He's got the chocolate-covered popcorn on his mind. And I asked him last night, I said, Steve, how many cookies do you want Laura to make you? And he said, 50 cookies. And I said, Steve, are you going to share the cookies with Mildred and, the people there at the home that take care of those guys? And he said, no. And Bino's been around, Steve. Bino knows. Bino saw Steve at a record store when Steve was out there looking at 45s, and a guy came over and started looking through the 45s next to him. And my brother grabbed the guy's arm and said, no. He fended the guy off. My brother just doesn't know any better, but God bless him. He's a sweetheart. Bradley's Chocolate, ladies and gentlemen, they're incredible. I love them. Bradley's Gift and Home. Bradley's Gift and online at shopbradleys.com. 865-200-5402. Your thoughts on what we witnessed over the weekend. I would describe Kentucky as mid. I would describe the Vols' execution down the stretch last night or the other night as mid. I would describe the Lady Vols and what they're doing as mid. I would describe the Super Bowl last night from a watchability standpoint as mid. I would say that the commercials during the game were kind of unmemorable and sort of mid. I would say that our first, hour and 20 minutes today have been sort of mid. As we continue with more on a mid-Monday after this. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gufon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gufon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gufon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gufon.com. That's Gufon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufon Moving and Storage.
Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Cold weather is here. Is your heating system ready and running efficiently? Don't wait to find out. A simple tune-up now can help prevent costly breakdowns when you need your heat the most. Right now, Pipe Wrench is offering a $79 heating system tune-up to keep your home warm, safe, and worry-free all winter long. Our certified technicians inspect, clean, and fine-tune every part of your heating system for maximum efficiency and comfort, helping you avoid surprise breakdowns and high energy bills. And with Pipe Wrench Home Service's same-day service guarantee, you won't be left out in the cold waiting for help. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Schedule your $79 heating system tune-up today at pipewrench.com before winter decides to test your heater. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free. For standard systems only, visit pipewrench.com for details.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com. Living Vol fan, when it's time to get ready for 2026 and what's ahead, there's only one place. It's Alumni Hall, the best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands, Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. And check this out. All the basketball stuff that the Tennessee basketball fan could ever need. Some great Tennessee baseball stuff as well. Any season, any reason. Alumni Hall, 3 locations in Knoxville. Also Murfreesboro, Bristol, and now open, of course, in Johnson City. And anytime online, alumnihall.com. Say it loud, say it proud. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Bradley's and your Tony Basilio show are a Knoxville tradition. And these days, just like Tony B's show has taken off like a rocket ship, so have my friends at Bradley's. Sure, they still have all the delicious chocolate you're used to, like the chocolate-covered popcorn in the assortment boxes. They're now called Bradley's Gift and Home, and they have so much more than chocolate. Bradley's Gift and Home has all kinds of amazing curated gifts, jewelry, candles, and other for her gift items that will keep you from having to go anywhere else. Guys, trust me, as Basilio would say, Bradley's Gift and Home have taken it to the next level. And remember, Bradley's will have freshly dipped chocolate-covered strawberries in milk and white chocolate at both of their locations, 141 North Peters Road and 138 Biddle Farms Boulevard in Farragut next to Tupelo Honey. Strawberries available February 13th and 14th. See you at Bradley's Bradley's Gift and Home. See our website, shopbradleys.com.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
Tony B back with you, 865-200-5402. So we got a super chat in from Bry, help me with this. BREININC. And it's a Kentucky fan. And he has the following. Mr. Basilio, by the way, Mr. Basilio, that's my father. You can call me Tony. Or you can call me whatever you guys call me on your boards.
Not on the air, they can't.
What do you think Kentucky would have to do in the next, say, 3 to 5 years of the program not to be mid? Well, Breen Inc., how about not do what you're doing? How about be a program that people talk about when they talk about the top of college basketball? When is the last time Kentucky was thought of as an elite program and talked about the way Florida's talked about the way the Gonzagas of the world are talked about, the way the Kansases, the Houstons of the world are talked about, the way the Vols have been talked about over the last several years? I mean, I hate to say this, but y'all remind me of Tennessee football when it went through the wilderness all those years. Great history, no doubt about it. Incredible fan base. The way your fan base drugged me the other night over the coals and had so much fun with me is so appreciated by me. You have no idea. Unfortunately, your team doesn't back it up. Your team blows, man. I mean, you've got a refugee from Florida back there playing point guard for you, pretending to be a point guard, and you know that, and I know that. And he's an okay college basketball player. He's all right. Now, Breen, do you Do you believe that your team's going to get out of the first weekend of the NCAA tournament this year? Because I don't. And I haven't seen the draw. We laid down and died in your building the other night, and it was still a one-possession game late because you guys couldn't make a layup. You couldn't make a layup. If that isn't mid, what is it? Hey, no offense to like women's basketball, but that's what that game looked like the other night. And no offense to women's basketball. I'm not ripping women's basketball. But it was both teams, it was one missed layup after another. Breen in North Carolina said, I think we're the Dallas Cowboys. That's pretty good. I think that's right. I think you're dealing in honesty. Your fan base doesn't want to hear that. Let me tell you something. In the NHL, that's what my Philadelphia Flyers are. My Philadelphia Flyers have a great following based on what they did 50 years ago. 50 years ago. And they have cool colors, and you guys have a great tradition, no question. As Tom Hammond used to say, now let's stand or let's pause for the greatest 45 seconds in sports, the singing of My Old Kentucky Home. When him and Larry Conley was on every night. Larry Conley would do like 9 games in 5 days when he was flying on the Concorde. But, Bino, the bottom line is if Kentucky isn't mid right now, what are they, Bino? They're mid. They've been doing an Elite Eight. I mean, since I don't know when. When's the last time they went to an Elite Eight? Have you done it in the 20s? In the 2020s?
2019.
Jays, guys. And we've been in the NIL era for how many millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars have we spent at Kentucky basketball? Who's getting less of a bang for the buck? The Lady Vols with the number 3 payroll in the deal, or Kentucky this year with the number 2 payroll in the deal? And their guy out-coached our guy the other night. Good night. Bino, lay it on me. Kentucky basketball, when you think about them right now, do you think of them as an elite program right now? And then we'll go back to the phones.
No, I don't think they're an elite program right now, Tony. Of course, a lot of it is in comparison with their past.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't feel like they're an elite program right now.
And I love their fan base, by the way. I'm not like
great
Matt.
Following. Maybe
love it.
Maybe the most devoted following of anyone.
I love and respect how
sport.
you all celebrate the sport. You celebrate the whole sport too, not just yourself. I love that. Y'all love college hoops. I love it.
They've been to one Sweet 16 since 2019, and they got, you know what happened when they got there.
And I'll tell you this right now. The day that I came to love Kentucky basketball is when I learned a lesson. About 15 years ago, we used to do bus trips all the time, Bruce Pearl years. And I'll be brief because I know we got phone calls. But we took a bus trip down to, and Bino knows the true story, but I think Bino was with us that day. Hey, Brian, we took a trip, Brian Inc., or whatever your name is, we took a trip down to Nashville or over to Nashville. I have a habit of saying down to Nashville. I don't know. I'm geographically challenged, always have been. But I told everybody on the bus, I said, look, it's us and LSU today. We're the curtain jerker here. We're the opening match here. It was the opening game of the tournament back in the old format. Might have been before the other 2 teams joined the league. So it was the first game of the tournament. I think it was a Friday afternoon at noon. Would that have been right, guys, or would that have been Thursday?
Yeah, that would have been when there
Friday.
were 12 teams in the league before Missouri.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian.
I think it was the Thursday, first game on Thursday.
First game on Thursday, we took a bus down. I told everybody, I said, look, these seats are upstairs in Bridgestone, but it doesn't matter. We'll be able to move around. So we get there and we start sitting down. And one Kentucky fan after another shows up. Finally, this lady shows up for my seat. I said, ma'am, you guys don't play till tomorrow night. What are you doing here? And she looked at me like I had 5 eyes, and she said, I love college basketball. And I said, enough to watch these two teams play? Because we were kind of not good, and LSU was not good. And Bino, that's how much they love college basketball. Not just their team. They love college basketball.
No, that's right, Tony. That's right.
Well, one correction. That team you went to see, Tennessee, was in the Elite Eight. They made their first ever Elite Eight that year. So I think Tennessee was pretty good. Just the scheduling, the way the tournament was set up, they should have had a bye, but they had to play Thursday.
Section
yeah, I mean,
one,
you used to call the SEC tournament the Kentucky Invitational.
And I see why. I see why. Plus, they used to win it all the time, right, Bino, back in the old days before Barnes started winning it.
Won it a lot, but you know, until Arkansas came into the league, Kentucky fans just dominated. They dominated the crowd wherever it was played.
So I don't like Kentucky, but I respect the hell out of how much their fans love the sport of college basketball. I can say that. I respect that. Like when you see them have a tournament somewhere, I don't know, like back in the day when you'd play these events like overseas or wherever, they'd bring like several thousand people. I remember one time, Bino, they played in Europe somewhere during the Patino years, and they had like 5,000 people in the stands. Wouldn't it be nice, Kentucky fan, if you had a program that was worth watching like that? That was commensurate with your fervor for it? Because y'all are mid. Y'all blow. And see, Bino won't say this, but I will. The thing that pisses me off about losing 7 of 8 to you guys in this little stretch here is y'all suck. Y'all blow. And we can't beat you. So in a way, I'm kind of like, and that's why I'm good at what I'm doing, good in what I do, because I'm complimenting you. You got an incredible fan base. Your team blows. You deserve better. Let's go back to the phones. All right. So Lisa Coleman says Tennessee has no basketball history. Lisa, we are like you. We deserve a lot more. We deserve a lot more here. We've always deserved a lot more. We had a game 2 weeks ago where our administration told the concessionaires to stay at home. They weren't expecting anybody to show up, and 17,000 people showed up on a Saturday night where it snowed 5 inches in our town. It was a night where most restaurants around the area were closed, and the parking was limited due to the snow that was on the ground, and 17,000 people showed up. And it was 8 degrees that night. So, guilty as charged. The fact that we've never made a Final Four is indefensible, Bino. I will not defend that when Kentucky fans come at me for that. Yes or no, Bino? I can't defend that. Will you defend that, Bino? I'm not going to fight for that.
No, I can't defend that, Tony.
I mean, when they say to us, when they say to me, you haven't been to a Final Four ever, I'll say to them, you haven't been to an Elite Eight. You are correct. You are correct. And you haven't been to an Elite Eight since we had something called the coronavirus. Okay? Or COVID-19. So let's go back to the phones. 865-200-5402. The thing that I love about the Kentucky-Tennessee rivalry is, and I said this in the first hour, and this is true, and I was laughing with Jennifer Morris about this yesterday, is that we're the same people. We're basically the same people. That's why we fight like hell with each other. We're like family members, Bino, with bad blood with each other. We know how to get it on with each other, don't we?
We, without question, have much more in common with the Kentucky fan base than any other fan base in this league. And I'm not sure there are any other two fan bases in this league that have more in common than Kentucky and Tennessee fans do.
Back to the phones we go.
Just those Appalachian roots. We're going to choose up sides.
Choose up sides. And we're going to go, daddy, go with each other. We're going to throw hands.
Hatfields and McCoys.
Yeah, Hatfields and McCoys. Very good, Bino. Let's go to the phones. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony,
speaking of which,
one of our infamous Vol Cats, ladies and gentlemen.
He's battling himself.
Yep. Hey, Philip's gotten so frustrated with me sometimes, Bino. He's thrown it down on me, called me every name in the book, but he keeps coming back.
Tony, hey, there's one thing I haven't done. I have not called you names to your face. Okay, at least I have enough. I have enough class to do it behind your back.
Hey, Philip, those Kentucky fans and some of the texts I got after that game the other night, and they think they're aggravating me, and they're making me laugh like crazy, man, because my sense of humor is so dark.
Oh, Tony, some of the calls that you played, that was some great radio, man. I mean, I about wet myself because I laughed so dang hard hearing some of those morons.
Total morons.
But Tony, I got to tell you, if I were to pick up if I never called before, never listened to your show, and you are the show of record and by far the best in Knoxville and the area. You know that. I've always said that. With that being said, if I was listening today for the very first time, you would think that Tennessee has won national championships.
Yep.
That they've won Final Fours.
Yep.
That they've been to more than 3 or 4 Final Eights in the history of the program.
Yep.
Tony, until you get to the Final Four, I don't care how many tournaments you make, and if you've gone to Final Eights 2 years in a row, you're not an elite basketball program, and you're just not. I mean, you win that Final Four or get in it, then you could talk. But right now, Tennessee is not. Are we the elite program right now? No, I totally agree with you on that. But to think Tennessee's an elite program, that's a stretch. You get in the Final Four, that's when you can say stuff. But until then,
we're multiple times.
You're a good program.
We've held the number one spot multiple times in the last several years in the poll.
How many Final
We've
Fours?
played at the top
How
of the
many Final
sport.
Fours?
We just had a streak of being in the top 25.
But final,
a couple
Tony,
hundred, literally a couple hundred weeks, Philip. A couple hundred.
Final
Philip,
Fours, Tony.
we've been at the very top of the sport at the very time that you guys can't even scratch an Elite Eight.
But you can't get to the Final Four. That Final Eight.
We smoked
in all seriousness, how many Final Eights in the history of the program?
We smoked you mano a mano last year.
Kentucky
on the big stage. The big stage, we smoked you. All you have is your past. All you have is your past.
So, Tony. Well, if all we have is our past, then you have nothing because you've not won anything. So you can't be an elite program.
We've played at the very top of the sport.
No.
Bino, have we been an elite program here during the Rick Barnes era? Yes or no?
No.
Bino?
Come on.
I guess it depends on what you guys have different definitions of elite. I think Tennessee has had among the strongest programs in America from the time that Bruce Pearl came here, with that little break in between he and Barnes. But we're not a blue blood program.
No, but that's okay.
We're not.
But we've been playing.
We're not in the stratosphere of Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, North Carolina. We just haven't been there.
But we've been playing at the top of the sport.
We've been playing at the top of the
Thank
sport
you.
for a number of years.
And you guys haven't.
But hold on.
And you
If
guys
play
haven't.
at the top, hey, Tony, and Piano, baby, if you play at the top of the sport, that means you win championships.
That's
Until you
not
win
what
the
that means.
championship, you're
No,
not
that's
playing
not what
at the
that
top of the
means.
sport.
No, that's not what that means. We're like an NBA basketball team that's won 60 games multiple times.
That hasn't won the championship.
We just have trouble in the playoffs. We have trouble getting out of the second round. We're like my 76ers. A lot of loud regular season wins. But here's the truth.
I think we're a very, very solid basketball program that's short of elite.
And by the way, Salty
That's
Vol,
what I would agree with
Salty
you
Vol
about.
puts it
Bino, I would
best.
agree with you on that.
The problem with Kentucky right now, Philip, over the last several years is you guys are not a serious program. You turned yourself
now I
over.
agree with you on that because Mitch Barnhart, he's awful.
Calipari turned you guys into an NBA halfway house. Before even that was cool. Before the NIL made the game total transient. You were doing transients when it wasn't cool.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that. I mean, you've always said once a coach gets to, no matter the sport, gets to that 10-year mark, that's when it's time to go.
Yes.
I mean, that's when.
And Barnes is getting there. I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Cal got there. Yes.
So, one, I love arguing with you, man, because I love you, brother. So, here's the question I have, and I'll get off here.
All right.
So, I saw today that I don't know if they've announced it, but the weekend starters, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday starters.
Yeah.
When I get off here, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are about that because I've not heard anyone talk about it. Take care, boys.
Tennessee staff, and we're going to bring our boy in, Willie, the chef, tomorrow, along with Matt Diskin, because I want to do a little baseball stuff. Tennessee staff is excellent this year. They're high end. They're going to be elite. Brian, just like Lady Vol softball is elite. How about that Lady Vol softball team, Brian? Are they elite or are they elite?
Well, they played 5 games over the weekend. They won all 5. Their pitching staff allowed just 2 runs, only 1 earned.
Yes.
And Pickens only pitched in 2 of the 5 games. So they've got some pitching depth they're trying to build. They do have some around her.
Yep.
And that included they're winning, one of those wins was over, I think, 4th-ranked Oregon or 5th-ranked Oregon.
And you don't think Carlin Pickens is one of these beautiful Tennessee gals, Bino? I mean,
this team could win the whole thing.
If that gal was a stock, I'd buy her. They're number 2 only to the team that, and it's really obnoxious, but the team that
Texas Tech.
The team that, why is his name escape me? Mahomes and Brittany have purchased down there, and they sit in the box like they're the club owners. So annoying. Can we I want to beat them, man. I want Texas Tech in the squared circle, mano a mano. And I want Carlin Pickens to get us over the top. A very, very astute comment from Lisa, who says Tennessee sucks. Lisa Coleman has now come back with Tennessee sucks at the end of all that discourse, Bino. See, that's why people listen to this show, for intelligent conversation. As we continue with more on the other side, I'm with Bino. We lost twice to Kentucky. It feels like we've lost 8 games. It feels like Barnes just lost us 8 games. And no offense to Barnes, but he did not adorn himself in glory in either one of those 2 losses. No offense. Amen. Hallelujah. And I didn't do it. But we will do some overtime on the other side of this. Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the one